comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. My name is Trevor Scott, and with me, as always, is my co-host Ben Slinger.
Hello, and welcome.
Yes, we are once again online. We're not continuing our in-person stuff just for the moment.
We're digitizing. We're keeping it digital. Forget that analog podcast stuff. That's for old timers. We're in the digital age.
I think because we just because we can doesn't mean we need to.
Yeah, just because you live like 4 blocks away, it doesn't mean I need to see your ugly mug in person. It's fine. Yeah. We have the wonders of the internet.
Like, we've only seen each other. Well, you've only seen me without your glasses on. Like, what, once or twice since you had.
That's true. That's
the glasses
true.
removed
Since my good old Dr. Kent did these things. Anyway, enough callbacks to episodes you probably haven't listened to.
I forgot that it was Dr. Kent using his laser eye vision.
We're going to play this week. We're going to play Click Pitch, ramped up Click Pitch. This is a game where we each have a random phrase generator in front of us, and on the count of 3 to 1 click, we're each going to get an adjective and a noun, throw them up into the air, see where they land, and turn that resulting mess into a game design.
Okay, unworkable manifestation.
Mangled term.
Okay, manifestation, I think ghostly presence. And unworkable, I'm thinking maybe it's a lazy ghost.
A lazy ghost. It's like literally unwork. Okay. Mangled and unworkable kind of went together because I was thinking if you mangle something, it's not going to work anymore. But
ooh, okay. What if this is a haunted mansion ride that you're trying to sabotage?
As a ghost or as a person?
Or as a person who doesn't quite like, what they're doing here. So you're basically breaking in, trying to do stuff to sabotage this thing, but everything that you do seems to just make it more scary for people, and more people keep on coming. So you're trying to make it unworkable.
So you're a Scooby-Doo villain, essentially.
Yeah.
With whatever, like Scooby-Doo villains were always like, this haunted mansion is making more money than my haunted mansion, so I'm going to sabotage it. Or whatever, or like your own ride at the carnival, or at the. It's a theme park. It's a very even more capitalistic theme park.
Yeah,
where the theme park doesn't own all the rides. You have to like bring your ride there and compete against the other rides.
Yeah. So you're running the Tunnel of Love, and no one's doing that anymore because you know what? Turns out nothing gets young couples more horny than a scary ride, because it sends them into each other's arms. And
yeah, this isn't the 50s anymore where you're going to just like sit next to each other, hide your boner, and come out the other side after a peck on the cheek or something. Yeah, we need scares. We need hearts racing.
Hearts racing because pumping. that adrenaline pumping that sends them into.
That sends them into
ecstasy. And then, when they come out the other side, it's like, would you like to get your photo? Would you like to get a hotel room? It's like
got all of the.
Would you like to buy some prophylactics?
The add-ons. Yeah. Here's your photo and complimentary condom
with a staple in the middle.
Yeah. Because they want, okay, so you are. So are you attempting to make this haunted mansion less scary, but somehow you just
and basically you're trying to ruin it so that the ride isn't as popular as what it is. But it appears that everything that you do, every idea that you come up with, like, has negative consequences for you because it's like, it does make it more scary. Like, when the track happened to be bent out of place because you leaving it off. The next thing that came through happened to be like an empty carriage, and it kind of bent the track back into place. But it's like, oh my god, it looks so crazy that you come around the corner and it's like there's a carriage on its side. It's like,
I think, I like that. I don't think we could systemize it.
No.
Is that a word? Particularly, I think it'd have to be like, oh, here's like the next sort of level, essentially, of you need to like get a wedding dress and put it on one of the characters because you want to make it more, more nice and romantic because you think that's going to ruin it or whatever. And so your goal is like get the wedding dress and like it's almost like it could even be like a platformer or something, or like a. Maybe not a platformer, but or a stealth game or something.
I was thinking more stealth.
Like you're going around through the back areas of this ride and then sneaking your way into the animatronics and putting the wedding dress on this thing. Except then, like, you bump a thing of fake blood and it pours all over it and it just makes like a super scary wedding scene or whatever.
Yeah, it's basically like the Red Wedding and from Game of Thrones, and they're like, oh my god, and because I like the idea of it's sort of like these are the 3 ideas that I've got and to do this time, and then you can basically do any one of those. You can do all 3 and all this sort of stuff, or you can just do the one and. Basically, you going in, you're doing this. I'm thinking VR actually, because I think sneaking in VR could be quite interesting. Plus, dark and scary sort of stuff works well in there, and
I could see that working. And it
having to hide when you're hearing from down the track, the next carriage coming through, and it's like, okay, quick, you hide down here, and you hear
like the idea that there's objects
talking
around where you can like. Grab a plant off a tree and like put it in front of yourself, or like grab a mannequin and like move it so that you can hide more effectively.
Yeah.
That's kind of an interesting stealth thing that would be difficult to do except in VR, where it's clear where where their line of sight is because you're at their level.
Yeah.
That could be kind of cool.
I mean, technically, if you're sort of sneaking around in the dark and you're all dressed in black, and it's like.
You just freeze. You just freeze in a shadow.
Freeze in the shadow is like, oh my god, did you see that? There was someone lurking in the shadows. So scary. Damn it.
It's like,
so yeah, I think this could actually work quite well. Like you've got some predetermined things that are going to happen you could just do like nine different things that you can actually do to this thing. It's like, the only idea I've got left is this or this, like, and you have to go in and do that one this time. And
yeah, I think as a relatively linear narrative, we'd have to have something in there to actually drive the narrative forward as well, rather than just, oh, well, I'm going to try this thing now. I'm going to try this thing now. I'm going to try this thing. Like, you'd want to push the relationships between your character and the other owner or something, and bring some more interesting writing in there. But
well, I think what's really funny is when you think about this, if this person put half the amount of time into maybe scaring up the tunnel of love, then people would actually, go, oh yeah, it's a tunnel of horrors instead, you know, and just changes.
Maybe that's the ending. Maybe it's a wholesome ending where, you eventually get caught out by a gang of teens who had been called in because something weird was happening in the Haunted Mansion ride, and you make up with the owner, and they're like, "Why didn't you just, change your ride?" And it's like, ding, and then it ends with you get to go through your new tunnel of love ride, and you see all of the same things. Like you've got like the bloody bride there, and you've got the track that's come up. You've got the things that you essentially were trying to sabotage, but done as actual set pieces in your own ride.
Yeah.
And then, your best friends.
Tunnel of love crossed out, horrors written in blood.
Yeah. Exactly. Cool. 3, 2, 1, click.
Yes.
Metal incidents.
Fictional socialist.
Ooh, okay. So I feel like, I mean, metal makes me think of obviously like heavy metal. I directly went to like a Brutal Legend-esque kind of taking the metal tropes, because there's just not enough games that are basically set in the metal verse.
Yeah.
As opposed to the metaverse. Is this a Narnia style story of someone who falls through an amp? Falls off an amp, or isn't that basically what happened to? I mean, that's sort of Brutal Legend already.
Fixing a speaker cabinet, and they open up the back of it, and it leads into another dimension.
And it's just like goes in, into this fictional world that he is aware of. It's sort of like because I don't think that was the case in Narnia, but the Magicians. Do you know the books? That book or the TV series, The Magicians? Anyway, it's sort of a more adult mix between Harry Potter and Narnia in a sense.
Ooh, nice.
But essentially, like, this guy's been reading essentially the Narnia type books his whole life, but then he finds out it's real and gets accepted to the magic school and magic college in the case and that sort of thing. But so I think in this situation, it's like there's a series of books about this world of the metal gods and stuff, ruled in it's a socialist utopia, of course.
All rock and metal, is created equally and is shared throughout the land.
Exactly.
Now, when you get there, has it been corrupted?
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be some sort of conflict.
Because I like the idea of you literally have to go visit each of the gods and remind them of, it's all about the music and sharing it between them. So basically, you go to the gods and you do like a rhythm sort of thing of bring the rock back.
Do we do a classic sort of thing of like, what are the things that kill bands? And I want to be careful because there are some things that are put onto bands that anyway. But things like, one of the members, gets power hungry and it goes to their head and they quit to start a solo act or something.
Yep.
One of the
money. I
mean, even just the band just fails. Like they didn't innovate enough and everyone got bored of them, or different things that end bands, and you're coming in to sort of solve those issues in a way and remind them of why they played music in the first place. And as you do it, it like brings rhythm back to that realm or whatever of the metal verse.
So I'm seeing this almost like an Oz-like thing of, there's different sections of the world with like a singular section. I don't know whether 4 kind of works. I think maybe you might need a bit more than that. Like, I know, I do like the idea of there being 5 around the outside and then 1 in the middle, and that's the 6, like the 6 strings of a guitar sort of thing.
It's like a pentagram shape.
It's a pentagram with
a thing in the middle.
Like the thing in the middle.
Is it Oz with 2 Z's?
The Y fell down.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, he'll do anything. He'll do voices.
And of course, you come in a blizzard.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Blizzard of Oz. I actually really love this idea. I think this is so cool. But one of the things that I didn't like about Brutal Legend was that they did the real-time strategy bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, that's a common complaint. Which is fair enough, I think. Like, I agree that was the weaker part of the gameplay.
Whereas driving around and
around, doing the sort of the guitar stuff, even having an element of leading the headbangers and stuff was cool.
It was just when it became,
but not when it sort of came the full just directing, building towers and directing units around. I feel like you need the on the ground experience.
When you had your minions, which were basically all your headbangers going around, and they could help you destroy the other minions and all this sort of stuff. Like, that was good fun.
Yeah, where it was a bit more of like a Pikmin style. Like, you just got these crowds, because that's cool. Because then you can bring in like crowd surfing mechanics. It's like, okay, put all my minions across this thing, and then crowd surf across it to get between areas, and that stuff's cool.
Yeah, I do like the idea of having like the big rock off sort of things are like, the artful escape of.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What's his name? But a little bit more. I did. Yeah, I finished it. It's wasn't a super hard game, but
I know. I got most
wonderful
of the way through,
looking. Like,
the art design was amazing.
But what I would like to see is, you've got this pretty crazy stuff going in, and then you've got like the battles at the end are kind of that Guitar Hero-esque.
Yeah, I think the challenge
battle
there always is that those rhythm games really always work best with a peripheral that works well. Like, you don't really want to play rhythm games on your control. Like, your controller's not too bad, but definitely not on like your keyboard or your mouse or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also don't want people switching between peripherals, obviously. This is a made-up game, so we can do what the fuck we want.
Yeah. So you've got, like, it's not really switching peripherals. What you've actually got is we sell a peripheral that has, like, the joystick, and it looks something like a guitar, but it's just got, like, the joystick that you play with. And then, it's sort of around your neck, but then you pick it up and you're working the joystick. You get into this thing, you drop it down, and it becomes the guitar, and you're just playing.
Yeah, you press a button, and there's like a extendable neck that comes out of it. And actually, no, you don't press the button. The game triggers it. And then
you're looking at it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There'll definitely be some lawsuits. There'll definitely be some lawsuits.
We should probably set some money aside for that then. What do you reckon? $20? Will that be enough?
That should cover it. Yeah. Just slip them a 20. It won't even happen once.
Yeah. Once, maybe. No more than 1,000 times.
Yeah, and so we'll give them
a cent each. So, yeah, I mean, if we give them a cent each, then we can take up to 2,000. Yeah, so how it works, isn't it?
Math, I don't know, something like that.
That's cool. 3, 2, 1, click.
Yeah, I wish I remembered more about metal to make some fun puns and stuff, but I'm not that clever.
I am a roadie.
See, I don't even know the next line to the song, so I can't even help you with that.
Hey, can I suck your dick?
The road knows that the road goes, and the road at the
That's such a funny song. Okay, 3, 2, 1, click.
Disappearing produce.
Sneak computation.
Okay. Is this a Starch Wars game?
For those who haven't been listening to the entire series, back many episodes ago, the wonderful Brendan White came onto our podcast, and we started off a thing where you had root vegetables versus leafy vegetables.
Yes.
And then it became a whole thing.
Since then, we've done probably at least 4 or 5 other games set in that universe.
Yeah, we actually tried making one at one stage. Yeah.
So I think this is, again, it's set in that world. It's not necessarily during wartime.
Mm-hmm. Last time we talked about it, I'm pretty sure, like, they came out of the war and they're trying to now live in peace and harmony with the humans.
Still like, well, the humans involved. Because I remember we had one, and it was dealing with like the racism between the leafy and the root vegetables trying to live together.
Yeah, Monique the Leak. God.
Trying to get into a desegregated
This podcast has been going for a long fucking time.
But no, I think in this case, because we've got disappearing produce, I think there's some sort of mystery. There's people, there are people, quotes, going missing. And it's like a detective story of some sort or a crime-solving sort of thing. Not necessarily playing a cop or a detective, but like you're trying to solve the mystery.
Do like that.
Maybe more of a like Agatha Christie style mystery, like a...
Oh, see, I was thinking that you could be playing Beatman.
Right, so like a superhero detective.
Yeah, all world's greatest detective, Beatman.
Beatman's pretty good. And I was trying to come up with a Robin pun. Rat, something about radish, maybe.
Yeah, why not?
Radish is pretty good. Just radish. Beetman and Radish. Rolls off the tongue pretty well.
And
Superman, but it's S-O-U-P.
He's literally a combination of all these.
Well, that's it. That's why he's so overpowered.
I'm noticing that these are both root vegetables, though. So maybe do they go up against like?
Yeah. Well, maybe this is continuing the sort of tensions between the two sides. Is that for some reason the so-called good guys tend to be the root vegetables, and
it does seem to be that way whenever we do these things. So,
when Dr. Lettuce comes down and spreads his leaves. That
does interest me quite a lot. I do like a superhero game that you're actually, going to the crime scene and, it's like a farmer's market sort of thing where,
farmer's market. Yeah, that makes sense.
So you're
talking to the people.
Well, you're talking to the other vegetables that were there and all these kids got stolen. Like, cause I think
it's humans going missing.
No.
You mean young vegetables?
Young vegetables going missing, and that was really quite funny.
Just bumped my standing desk button.
Yes,
so, and did I start sinking?
I started seeing Ben's head just going lower and lower and lower. Ben unfortunately has to look down at my bald spot. Bye, Ben.
I'll just do it from here. There we go. That's my good position.
I can't even see your chin anymore, so... Yeah, I'm trying to wonder whether, there's something happening with Dr. Lettuce, that he's got another nefarious scheme again.
Maybe they think it's Dr. Lettuce, and then when they track him down to his lair...
He's actually trying to find his grandchild who was, I don't know, a cabbage or something like that. So it's happening from both sides of the aisle. Little Cos, yeah. Because I do like the idea of Beetman and Radish looking into it, and they're following along with all these root vegetables got taken, and none of the leafy vegetables seem to have gotten taken. But it turns out there's another nefarious sort of group that we haven't thought of for quite a while. No, I was thinking...
Oh, it's another root.
The fruits.
Oh, it's the fruits.
Yep.
The fruits and berries.
Fruits and berries. Fruits and berries, berries and fruit.
That's their theme song.
So it's the apples, oranges, the citrus mafia. I mean, they're a big part of it.
The citrus mafia, the seedlings, by which I mean they have seeds.
And you know what the worst is? The fact that there's actually all these banana clones around.
Yes, they're all clones. Perfect.
So they're all played by the same voice actor.
Oh yeah, yeah. They all look basically identical. They might have varying bruises on them.
Yeah, but just the fact
you're beating up bananas and they're going brown. You just leave these
Beetman lays
soft.
out of beating.
Oh yeah.
God, I really love this idea of
just bruised fruit everywhere.
But just the fact that people, like, not people, but the vegetables, they've been doing all this stuff for many years, forgetting that,
Forgetting the third underrepresented, overlooked segment of the population. Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to have 5 serves of veggies and only 2 serves of fruit.
That's
and
it.
The fruit are not happy
that's really what started the oppression of the fruit all these years.
Well, it turns out throughout this whole thing, and I can't remember everything that we've talked about in the past, but it turns out that the fruit, like, we could have a flashback to actually show that, there's actually an apple. Because I'm thinking apples are pretty evil because, an apple a day keeps the dentist away or the doctor or whatever.
Yeah.
Basically.
because they're fucking too intimidating.
It turns out that there's this one apple and he's actually back because
he's the bad apple.
He put himself into like cryostasis he's
the rotten apple spoiling the bunch.
Yeah. Basically he's come back and he's now like, sort of organizing all this stuff. And
she. It's
okay.
Granny Smith.
It is Granny Smith. Oh my God, Granny Smith.
Granny Smith's back.
The Granny Smith. She's painted herself red.
Oh, she's in disguise.
She's in disguise.
Well, and it's just she's not green anymore. She's not new to this.
I think you come across a couple of different, like, you got Golden Delicious, you've got a Royal Gala there, sort of. You got the Pink Lady.
Oh, the Pink Lady. Yeah, the mysterious Pink Lady.
The Pink Lady.
I feel like maybe she's trying to help you.
She's trying to help you until you find out that, these are all Granny Smith in disguise.
Oh, it's all her. She's a master of disguise.
There's only one apple.
Yeah.
And she's a bad apple. She's got a bad seed.
She's got a bad seed. She's been on the branch too long.
So yeah, I love the fact that, because for those people who don't actually know, bananas are actually all clones. Yeah. That's how we reproduce them because if they're all seedless now, so you can't actually reproduce them in the normal way. They're all clones of each other. So just the fact that they're all like,
that works perfectly.
But the funny thing is,
or maybe you've got the one.
It also happens with apples, because an apple seed will not actually produce an apple seed will produce a different flavored apple.
I mean, yeah,
so I
think in general, a lot of fruit is essentially cloned.
So the idea that all these different things that you come up fighting against are literally clone armies. Like, you could almost have a thing where you go to a cloning facility and you find out that, holy shit, there's like thousands of banana and apple troops everywhere. And, the citrus mafia is sort of in charge of it all. But
it's basically like a Clone Wars situation.
Yeah. And then it is literally a Clone Wars situation that the root vegetables and the leafy vegetables, they both, one hired a cloning facility to make bananas. The other one hired to make apples. And it turns out that no, this was actually the plan of Darth Granny Smith. And
well, and I love the idea that you've got all these banana clones around. And then you come across one particular banana smoking in the corner and he like comes out of the dark and looks different. It's the gross Michelle. I thought you were dead. I thought you were devastated by the Panama disease all those years ago.
Okay, gameplay.
I might have been on Wikipedia.
Gameplay. I'm definitely thinking that this is somewhat, an Arkham style.
Yeah, I could see in Arkham. I'm getting almost like Grim Fandango-ish vibes too. It could just be sort of a hard-boiled mystery adventure.
But why not? Why not both? Like, why not? Have like the sections where you're going through and beating the fuck out of some.
Yeah, I mean, it would be
fruits.
satisfying to bruise up some fruits for sure.
But then, you get into a certain section and it's like, okay, now
it's like
we've only got
inventory based.
We've only got a certain amount of time to go to, search this room while Radish is off, doing his,
acrobatics,
or talking a la your Obi-Wan Kenobi talking to
you're right. Yeah.
To the people going, oh, so this is what's happening with the cloney. It's like, we're just checking in to see that, yes, the clones are well underway and they'll be ready.
Just these like formations of bananas in the background.
And it's like, let me take you to the original banana, and it's like
Lord Cavendish. But he's
the bounty hunter.
Yeah, the bounty hunter, Lord Cavendish.
And his son, like Ladyfinger, or his daughter, Ladyfinger.
Perfect. Meanwhile, you're just walking past these rooms where there's like half-peeled bananas and stuff because they're like trying to figure out what went wrong with them or something, or they're like all hooked up to different machines.
Oh my God, I can just see, an ocean of these bananas and all this sort of stuff. Then you go into this one room and there's just this massive blender and it's a smoothie.
Oh God. It's like, this is what we do with the
they're feeding it
directly back into the ground
into the population. Like,
gross.
It's like, if you actually
green, soylent yellow is bananas.
Oh my God. To make them more powerful, they're feeding them themselves. Like, it's too much B12 or whatever.
It's too much potassium.
Too much potassium.
The potassium levels are off the charts.
And it's turning you into mutants.
They no longer make bones stronger. They break bones when they punch you.
You kick open the door and you see Granny Smith drinking a smoothie. It's like, just this big banana mustache.
Banana smoothie mustache across her face. That's hilarious. Oh my God.
You see her standing there and like, she opens up a trapdoor and a strawberry falls into the blender and is like,
it's got them on demand up there. Screaming as they fall down.
Exactly. Like, I could imagine how evil this would actually look.
For some reason, I feel like all strawberries are children as well, somehow. They just feel like strawberries would be kids.
Can you give me a strawberry
sure what they
from
grow
daycare?
Into. With like the grapes and the I don't know, raspberries.
Oh, Kiwi. Yes, Mom. Can you send up some strawberries from daycare? Right away, Mom.
The Kiwi wouldn't have an English accent. It'd have a New Zealand accent. I'm not going to.
Right
away. No, I can't. I'm not good with accents.
Where's Catherine when you need her?
Yeah, I know. Oh my God, that's really funny.
Oh my God.
That might be the best Starch Wars we've had. And yeah, I think you just...
Beetman and Radish.
Beetman and Radish against Granny Smith, the mastermind.
Yeah. With Pink Lady.
Yeah.
Ladyfinger. Lord Cavendish.
All the Lord Cavendish clones.
Just... Okay, no, we can't go anywhere until we actually put some casting on this.
Oh, like voices?
Granny Smith.
I mean, I immediately go to Maggie Smith.
I thought Maggie Smith or Judi Dench.
Yeah.
Either one would be perfect.
Would work well too.
Train heater.
It's Train Eater.
Okay, Beetman. I really liked Will Arnett in Lego Batman, so...
Yeah, but I feel like it's too on the nose. Who else could do a good Batman?
Donald Faison.
Sure.
And Radish is Zach Braff.
Okay, I'll go with that. That's only because you've been rewatching Scrubs.
Fuck yeah.
Nobody's
Lord Cavendish.
being played by Chris Pratt. We're not having him anywhere.
Oh, Keegan-Michael Key, though. Hell yeah. And Jack Black, hell yeah. Like...
Yes, if we're going for other Super Mario Brothers casting, certainly.
Yeah. I mean, Charlie Day. Yeah. I'll take a Danny DeVito. Like, a Danny DeVito as...
Always.
As whatever the... Dr. Lettuce, what is it?
Yeah, Danny DeVito as Dr. Lettuce. Yeah. That's a good role for him.
And Charlie Day as like, Little Cos.
Yeah, okay.
He's not so little.
I feel like Lord Cavendish is, and this is because I've been watching Better Call Saul, Giancarlo Esposito. Like,
fuck
just
yeah.
It's measured.
Having to play
Gravatar's voice.
Yeah, but then he gets to go kind of crazy with some of the clones.
With the clones, yeah, exactly. Like the original Lord Cavendish, because he's like composed. He's a this like.
Oh, I fucking love that. I fucking love that. Oh my god.
Yeah. Did you? You could cut this if you want. Did you see the episode of? Was it? Oh, it was Game Changer. During the pandemic when they had Giancarlo Esposito come in and judge their acting. Yeah. Fuck, that was good.
Yeah. This is an ad for Dropout TV. They said that we're paying too much for Dropout right now. So if you pay for like a year, you get like a whole heap of money off.
Is that true?
It's one of the things that they actually came out and said is like, you're all paying too much for Dropout TV. You pay for a whole year and then you can get it.
They're the best thing out. They also like encouraged sharing of their passwords and stuff when Netflix was going through their whole thing.
I mean, we both pay for it. It's amazing comedy.
It's not even that expensive. It's like the cheap,
$6 a month or some bullshit like that. Like $6 American, but still. Dirty Laundry, absolutely fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and Game Changer, play it by ear, make some noise. All the Dimension 20 stuff that I'd never get around to watching, but seems awesome anyway. I've started. I'm going through Fantasy High, or I was like 6 months ago before I jumped off.
I was also going through that. I need to get back on that. Awesome. So this episode brought to you by...
Unofficially by Dropout TV.
By College Humor. I think that's the end of our episode, dude.
Let's get Brennan on the show.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So thank you for joining us this week on Bitstorm. If you would like to find all of our previous episodes, go to podchaser.com/Bitstorm. Give us a listen, give us a review. There's lots of stuff there, including many Starch Wars games in our backlog.
See if you can find them and see how our recollection was. If you like the song that we play at the start and end of each episode, you're in luck. It's longer. If you check it out on the album, it's like
not a
10 minutes or
song.
something like that. So yeah, check it out. It's called Mount Defiance. It's off of the album Containment Failure by the band Kuradust. It's free on kuradust.bandcamp.com, and we happened to play in that band back in 2010.
Yeah. That's right. So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
And I'm Beatman.
Yeah, and I'm Radish.
Damn it, Radish. Put the voice on. Don't recognize you.
I'm Radish.
Much better.